So today's episode will be about creating a positive mindset. And, I've definitely been around people who are negative, and I've seen how it creates a spiral effect for not only for them, but everyone around them. And it's so heavy. Being negative and just having that mindset is so heavy. And when you're a positive person, like I really try to be, you appreciate life. You're walking around so much lighter, and it's infectious. And when you're positive, other people are positive, and it gives them hope, and it encourages them to have that mindset. And, like I said, I've been through a lot of experiences in my life. I've sometimes been negative, sometimes been positive, and I've grown so much more and I've accomplished so much more with being a positive person.
And yeah, like literally the biggest thing with having that like positive mindset, it is the people that you're around and how they speak, right? And it's funny you said in the first episode, and I love it. I hope that becomes like our saying on this is if you're around negative Nancy's,
Oh God.
they don't help much when you're trying to like develop, and you don't realize it until you're around more people that have that positive mindset, and you're like, oh, I've been holding on and carrying this like negative load. I never even realized that I had on me. I know myself especially, like it took that moment of like I used to very much find it so easy to like and a joking kind of way complain about things. It's be like, oh man, this weather, am I right, guys? And just when you're around people who are kind of like, that's weird, you're focusing on that, but okay, it makes you realize like, oh, why do I say that? Why am I like that is a weird thing for me to kind of be on right now, right? I'd also want to add on to that with being around people who, when they have negative thoughts and you allow those to be the things that you're around and the main thing that you're centered around, you don't realize how much your growth itself gets stunted, and how much just being able to hit that positive mind and like how much positive thinking actually does more for getting to where you want to get to. Like even in the smallest thing of like, if I want to, let's say, for example, I want to make more money, for example, making money is a big thing for me. If everyone I'm around is just focused on how, oh, cause I've been around circles like this where they're just focused on, oh, the government's just trying to keep us down. Oh, we're not meant to get to this place. If you're around that talk so much, you're not going to be around any conversations that can help better you to get to where you want to get to. Those aren't conversations that are telling you, oh, invest in stocks, this stock, that stock, whatever, for example, or like, oh, this is a good skill to kind of learn. You're not going to be around that conversation, right?
Yeah. It's also about thinking. I'm really big on right now on like energy and like people's energy, and I'm thinking about my energy and how I feel like I'm perceived and how people perceive my light and my energy, because literally we're just like walking energy. Like we're not, I know this is going to be a whole other topic, but we're not really like, we're not that big. We're just lights walking around, and some are low and some are high. And it's important to be a positive light, and you just, it becomes infectious. And I don't know, I can't really get my words together, like, but
I wanted to say what we were saying with how we're all light, we're all energy. Have you ever heard of Alan Watts?
Yes, I have. My brother introduced me to him. Shout out to him.
There's a lot of him, and I'm gonna butcher this one Albert Einstein phrase that he said, where we're all literally vibration. Like every vibration is literally everything. And I took many years of studying that and understanding frequency and everything, especially listening to a lot of like Alan Watts, and literally that ties so much with the conversation of building positive energy. Is we literally do vibrate on different frequency levels.
Yeah.
So when you think about how shame is the lowest frequency and enlightenment is the highest frequency, there's, oh my goodness, so many in between, and I'm not even going to attempt to name all of them right now because I'm going to butcher it. But if you think about, if you're around people who are constantly ashamed of themselves, like they're constantly like, oh, like, no one ends up wanting to be around someone who's like, I'm like, oh my goodness, this looks so good. No, it doesn't. It's awful. It's trash. I hate it. People tend to always like kind of shy away from that. But if you're someone who's also feeling that, you're also going to be around that. And that happens, if you think about that, on every level of spectrum of frequency. So when you start thinking of, okay, I want to kind of be on a high frequency myself, I have to be around different as well. I have to now accept different in my life also. And that's a scary thing too, of accepting different frequency in your life. Because people also say it's like, when you start being around people who they give you more love, they give you more affection, it can feel so unnormal. It's almost uncomfortable. And that's where it's not on that frequency you're accustomed to being on sometimes.
It's also being selective with who you're around, and really sometimes it's accepting the hard truth that some people that you have been around for a long time no longer bring good to your light, right?
Yeah.
If someone else is negative and they're making you feel heavy and just drained, that's another sign. Because I've been there where I just feel so heavy around people and just so drained and just so run down. Like, those are signs that you don't realize, but like the universe and like where the universe is like, and your body is trying to tell you, like, listen, this is
not it no more.
Yeah, it's not suiting what you deserve to have and the light you deserve to have around you. And it really is like, I don't know, it's really makes a difference when someone is negative and someone is positive. You could just feel so it's like shame and enlightened. Like, that's how drastic the feeling within is.
And like the other day we said, like, sometimes you end up having to accept, like, oh, this circle, it's not, and it's fine. It's perfectly fine. The purpose of that, if you think about it, when we sometimes start friendships with people, we envision ourselves being with this person for like essentially our life, like being friends with this person forever. And we have a vision of how we would be friends at that point.
Yeah.
Sometimes that is envisioned in a different way for that person also. And sometimes we're literally just, we can be two trees growing in a field.
You know, something I just thought about right now, so thank you for sparking that thought for me, was some people see the light, see your positivity, and they lack that. And they're just wanting to, absorb that from you. And when they suck it out of you, then they're gone.
That's the thing is, you know what? I like that light analogy, and I'm going to build on that analogy because that was a great one. And it's like, if you think about it, if you're a light in a dark room, you're the one light in a dark room, you're always going to be lighting that up until you die out.
That.
But you see, when you're a light and natural light's around you,
oh my,
you don't got to work as hard. You can last longer, right? You got more energy for yourself, right? And that's why I was like, you were onto something there.
Now I'm having like a visual of like that, like little light bulb. Just.
If a room is dark, you're going to be, and that's where it's like when people are constant, sometimes it is that. And in that dark room, they're just like, oh my goodness, light. I like you. You're light. I was in darkness before you, but it's like, okay, you got that. But like, I given you the keys to also be a light. So please, help me up with getting this room bright too.
Question for you. How would you say that you know that someone is using you for your light and not trying to add to your light that you already have? Like, sees it and it's like, you know what? I want to embrace this. I want to add to this. I want to,
I think what's helped me with recognizing is I've been around heavy spectrums of people, right? So I've been able to see the utmost where I'm already leaving the room because I'm seeing that I'm going to be that if I go in this room. being able to experience that, it helps me see the wide end of the spectrum where I'm like, okay, a lot of the time I'm able to see like, okay, you're probably going to be this right now for me in my life. So I'm going to keep you at a certain distance. And I'm able to start, like, sometimes I'm able to not recognize it right away. But when I do allow myself to recognize, I'm like, oh, the light just went off in my own brain. Like, yeah, I'm not me when I'm with this person. I'm not enjoying the person I got to be when I'm with this person over here, right?
That's true. And